And this was absolutely heartbreaking. I don't know where the common sense was when these were all bagged together.
My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that I can buy and flip for a profit. I'm the Crazy Landlady, and welcome to my channel.
All right, well, today we are at the Goodwill, and we are here with Dagny.
Hello.
We're gonna hello. We're gonna head in and see what we can find that we can buy and flip for a profit. Here we go. This Goodwill was a little overwhelming. As you can see, the shelves just go on forever and ever, and there is a lot of Christmas. So as I was scanning the shelves, Dagny found this hobbyist piece, and she was absolutely adorable. I found this one. I liked it. You can see there is a vintage sticker on the bottom. It was $1.99. The coloring was a little weird, and unfortunately, as it always goes, she was missing one of her wings, so I set that back. Here we are making our way down some more Christmas shelves, and you can see it is just scattered everywhere. So I'm trying to focus, although I still haven't obtained focus. We found these 2 candlestick holders. I believe they were made in India. They kind of resembled holly to me, and I thought that they would be good Christmas pieces. And so I grabbed the pair of them and I stuck them there in my cart. Up on the top shelf was a Christmas tree, but I don't think it was vintage. Here we have a Gingerbread Man, and I'm trying to dig to get down to him. He was $3.99. I was curious whether he was vintage, but you can see there on the back that he was not. It was really adorable, though. This looked to be a putz house, and even though I thought it was great, you can see the Made in China sticker on the bottom. That wouldn't have deterred me, but what did deter me was the fencing. You can see that there is a big chunk of fence missing, and I didn't think it was worth it with the missing fencing. And then I got glitter on my fingers. Here we have a Santa figurine, and it is marked on the bottom and dated 1991. I believe it was made from polymer clay. That's my best guess. I'm assuming it's Santa. I mean, his robes are green, but he's holding a giant candy cane, and so that is obviously Santa Claus. There was no pricing on it. There was no pricing on a lot of stuff, so I wasn't sure if the Christmas stuff just had a base price, but I figured we'd figure that out when we got to the checkout. I assumed this was a craftsman piece, but as you can see on the bottom, it most definitely is not. It's got 2 Made in China stickers. Now, despite all the stuff on the shelves, I barely have anything in my cart. It's a little concerning. This looked to be Yankee Candle, and when I looked at the bottom, sure enough, it said Yankee 2012. And it looked to be in good condition. I didn't see much damage there. The only thing I saw was a little discoloration on the snowman's belly, but I figured that could be remedied. It was probably caused by the candle being lit. It might be some soot from the candle. Here we have a candle with poinsettias on it. It was $1.99. I'm not really sure of the resale value of that, which is why I passed on it, even though it was a neat looking candle. And then I wandered out of the Christmas land and into the green section. I found this covered dish with a rose applied on the top. Every time I find these pieces, they're almost always damaged. So I was looking it over really good to see, and unfortunately there was a chip on this piece right there. And then I found a shoe, and it was from Germany. Surprisingly, there was no damage to it, because a lot of the times I find these and they are also damaged, but this one appeared to be in good condition, and these make great planters. So for $3.99, I put it in my cart. And then I started rearranging and taking everything out of the child seat. There's another one. Look, it's a pair of German shoes. Another one for $3.99. So I figured a pair is better than one with shoes. These had an interesting pattern on them. They were $1.99. I was sure that they were probably attributed to someone, but unfortunately the sugar was missing a lid. These plates were very nice. On the back, they were Royal Norfolk, and I believe Royal Norfolk might be sold at Dollar General. I'm not positive about that, but I think my viewers have told me that in the past. This was great. This was an ornament, but it was a Dalmatian head. I believe that it is carved from wood. It felt like wood, and there were no signatures on it, which really surprised me. Here we have another Santa Claus, and this Santa is in purple. Unfortunately, he has very soulless eyes, and I don't like Santa with soulless eyes. It freaks me out. There's a kitty over there. I've actually bought and sold those cats in the past, but that one had a little damage. I wasn't quite sure what this was. It was $4.99. I didn't know if it was a jewelry display or if it was just a sculpture. It was a little wobbly, though. Tried to make them hold hands. This was a pepper grinder, and I never really took a close look at pepper grinders until we had the house clean out, because I realized that there is value in pepper grinders and I should be paying more attention. That one was not marked though, and I didn't think it was anything special. I've got a cookie jar missing the lid. It had a very sweet design on it. I found another candlestick holder. This one had a different marking on the bottom though. And this was absolutely heartbreaking. I don't know where the common sense was when these were all bagged together. And I was having a moment of sadness over all the damage. And it was clear to me that the damage had occurred in the bag because the flowers were all broken off and the pieces were in the bag. So this was very sad. But these are bone china flowers, obviously. A lot of them were from England, and they were just absolutely beautiful. So it was a shame that they were ruined. It was a tragedy. This gaming controller, I talk a lot about how Ashton is into gaming. I don't know if this is compatible with his Xbox system or if this is an older model. I really know nothing of gaming consoles or anything. But I figured I'd grab this for Ashton and we could see if it works. This was a nice little art pottery piece. It was $1.99. I believe there was a signature on the bottom, but I really liked the color. It was almost a celadon glaze, and it had those little denim blue dots on it. This cup and saucer looked to have an onion pattern on it, and these were temptations. I wouldn't have guessed that. I suspect this is contemporary. It was really kind of cool, a little fire piece, and then it had those fondue sticks. I'm not sure if it was for s'mores or if it was just for fondue. But it was a cute design, and I'm not sure exactly how much it would resell for because I don't do much with contemporary pieces. I considered buying it for ourselves, but it made me nervous that it wasn't electric and you had to use real fire, like a candle or something. These pieces had interesting lines, but they were marked made in China. I thought the glaze on this bowl was nice. It had kind of a drip glaze. And then up here, I noticed this vase, and I turned it over because I didn't know if it was Damascus pottery. I believe that's one of the pieces we picked up when we were in Ohio that turned out to be worth quite a bit of money. This one, however, is, I believe, from Dalton, Pennsylvania, and I've picked that up from time to time. We have a California pottery dish, a covered dish, and I'm like, what's wrong with it? There has to be something wrong with it. And sure enough, there was a repair there on the handle. There was another little covered dish that looks kind of like a pear. Turn that over. I didn't see any markings on the bottom. I suspect there were more pieces that would have gone with it. And then we have this Lucite tray. I missed this the first time I went down the aisle. This was the first aisle that we went down, and I didn't even see it. But you can see the lucite handles on this. It's got a nice design. I thought it would be a great vanity piece, so I stuck this in my cart. Even though it was a little large to ship, I made an exception for this one for $2.99. And then I wandered across the furniture and noticed these two end tables here. They were $9.99 for the pair, and I really loved the design of the legs. They were a little wobbly, so they probably needed to be tightened a bit, but I thought the design was really nice. Obviously the tabletops, I wasn't real sure of. I think they were particle board, but those legs, it was all about the legs for me. Figured these would make good booth pieces because we sold 2 big pieces of furniture out of our booth. There you go. They made it into my cart. I usually pick up these little trinket boxes when I find them, regardless of whether they're made in China or Ruccini. The made in China versions I can usually sell between $15 and $25, and this was a great Christmas piece. A lot of people like to gift them with jewelry inside. And then we came across a Basset Hound Christmas ornament. It was sandicast, it was still in the box, and I thought it was a great piece for $1.99. I figured I could either donate it to the Basset Hound Rescue or I could sell it and donate the proceeds to the Basset Hound Rescue. These were candles that looked like peppermints. Looked like they'd been in there a while. They had a little bit of discoloration. And I thought maybe this was glass, but it turns out to be just plastic. Even though this was a nice vase, I was not impressed by the marking on the bottom or the birds, surprisingly. I like to check the bottom of the cookie jars to see who makes them. I know some of the Fitz and Floyd Christmas cookie jars can sell for good money. And then I found this music box and I turned it over and it was a Schmid movement, which is fantastic. I was really excited about this. There seemed to be an issue. I couldn't get it to play right away and it was a little bit fussy. I had to actually lift it. I think this is actually supposed to be elevated so that it could spin and the music can play, because as soon as I lifted it, the music started playing. So I ended up grabbing this anyway, even though it was a little fussy, because I thought, you know what, maybe I can do something to make it work. And so I made an exception for this piece, even though it was a little wonky. We're back in the Christmas, obviously. This plate, I wanted to see who made this plate. I wasn't sure if it was a hobbyist piece. I was surprised to find that it was mass produced, as you can see there on the bottom. Got another music box. This one was not as exciting as the last one. It had a little stuffed bear on it. These were art glass champagne flutes. They were not Murano. And then this. This was a snow tree musical. I'm finding all the musical stuff now. I don't know how I missed it the first time down this aisle. I was trying to get it out of the box. I ended up having to use both hands to get it out of the box. It's kind of a simple piece. It's not a snow globe, but it does spin and it does play music. It's got the figurines there on it, and it's still in the box. Nice vintage Christmas. Found a melamine set here. We've obviously got 2 plates and 2 bowls, and I really loved the graphics on them. I thought they had great graphics. That's really the only reason I bought them, because normally I would pass them by, but the family of bears there and the hedgehog and everyone so happy and cheerful, I thought this is great. This is good content right here. So I've made my way into the clear glass because I like to check it. This one had a very heavy silver overlay on it, which was surprising because the silver usually wears after time. A little pineapple toothpick holder, pineapple for the shape, some roly-poly glasses, And here was a paperweight with a heron or a crane on it. It was $1.99. I was searching it over to see if there were any signatures there, like Mats Johansson. I'm not really sure how to pronounce. Oh, Ashton is playing video games. I liked it, but without the signatures, I just was not really sure. Check the bottom of this to see if it was marked Waterford. It was not. So our cart is filling up with stuff. I'm pretty pleased about that. I wasn't real sure there at the beginning. We've got some Hummingbird mugs. There were no markings on them. There were 3. It was kind of an odd number. I wasn't sure exactly what this thing was. Dagny convinced me that it probably had something to do with photography because it was an exposure meter or something like that. And then I found this. And this was not in the bag of carnage. This was on the shelf by itself. So I was checking it over like, are there chips? Are there cracks? And Dagny walked up to me and asked if I wanted her to be my fun sponge. And she did. I pointed out the bag of carnage to Dagny. And she was just as disappointed as I was to find that that entire bag had been damaged. So we wandered over to the textiles and I spotted this. And it was really funny because Dagny is a yarn snob. She used to crochet. And so she thought it wasn't made with the best quality yarn. But I thought it was a beautiful piece. So that was kind of the debate of the day. I thought it was very nicely made. So I made an exception for it, even though it perhaps was not the greatest quality of yarn. Dagny found this coverlet. And the pattern reminded me of the Versace pattern. So I convinced her to look it over a little bit more carefully. It was strange because the tag actually said that machine wash, do not dry clean. Usually it's the other way around. But we looked it over more carefully. It is a modern piece. It's a field crest. It's a field crest coverlet. So we folded it back up, put it on the hanger, and left it there on the rack. Then Dagny found this, and this was amazing. It was a tablecloth, and it had the most beautiful embroidery on it. Unfortunately, the hanger got a little snagged there, but this was just a beautiful piece, and she ended up finding 2 matching pieces there on the rack. So we were debating whether these were made in Mexico or possibly Ukrainian. If you know, please let us know in the comments. In any case, they were just absolutely stunning, and she ended up taking them home with her. So you can find them in her eBay shop, which I've linked down below in the description under Shop with Our Friends. Now, I stepped away to take my thumbnail and noticed one of the dishes that went with the California pottery covered dish, but there was only one, so it really wasn't worth it. Well, we have concluded our trip here at the Goodwill today. Our total spend was $65. I feel like we got a lot of things. We got a lot of stuff. I think a few of my favorite pieces were probably the little Christmas trinket box, the music box, which I'm going to have to putz with a little bit to see if I can't get it to elevate and spin, because it does play music. It wasn't overwound, but I'll mess with that a little bit and see if we can get it fixed. But we got some good stuff today. The tables are going to go in our booth, and they were only $10, so we'll make a profit there. We're going to get out of here now. I'm going to hit the road home, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So long.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. In case you spotted something you just can't live without, we do post 25 to 30 new items in our eBay shop every single day, and I've posted a link to that down in the description.